Safer Internet Day. It was marked worldwide yesterday, Tuesday. Now, though, we are hearing about some interesting developments into how that could be achieved. There is a possibility in the UK of a new online law which would change how social media is defined and therefore how it is treated. This is really interesting stuff, and Raheela's been taking a look at it for us.
That's right, Kamal. Well, aside from Safer Internet Day, Child Mental Health Week is also being observed in the United Kingdom. One of the main topics being discussed is the creation of a policy that could classify social media sites as publishers rather than ordinary internet platforms. And the idea is to hold social media sites accountable for influencing any harm on children and teenagers. Now, the UK Parliament's Science and Technology Committee is suggesting what can be done to protect young people online. The committee published a report days after the father of a 14-year-old, Molly Russell, directly blamed Instagram for her death. Several posts about self-harm and suicide were found in her Instagram account. Now, many on Twitter are supporting the calls for tighter regulation. The Minister for East Devon, Hugo Swire, says social media firms are publishers and should be held accountable to the content they make available. And Mel Fletcher, the founder of a London-based think tank on social change and leadership as well as innovation, says very much the same thing. Now, Britain's Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, shared this letter addressing the social media companies. He discussed Molly's story and says research shows suicidal people search the internet for suicide methods, and he plans to launch an online awareness campaign highlighting the tools that parents can use to limit their children's screen time. Well, others in the UK are also taking action this week to spread awareness about the dangers of suicide and self-harm. More than 200 shoes were left outside St George's Hall in Liverpool to represent the number of children who have taken their lives in 2017. We want to get your thoughts on the story, so do tweet us. Use the hashtag AJNewsGrid.
Thanks, Raheela. We've got Yair Cohen joining us now to talk about this, a lawyer specialising in internet law and social media, author of the book The Net is Closing, Birth of the E-Police. Nice to see you, Yair. First of all, what are your thoughts on this idea, first of all, that we could possibly, well, in the UK at least, treat Facebook and Twitter and all of these social media platforms as publishers? Because they do publish stuff, it's just that they've got millions, if not billions, of authors.
The reality is they do both. They do publish stuff on their own platform, but also they act as distributor or facilitator of reading of the material. What's been happening since the very early days of the internet is that people have been made to treat the internet as a separate planet altogether, as if we have two societies. We have the offline society, which is very heavily regulated and policed, and the online society, where there's no policing at all whatsoever. And the idea was to allow internet companies to regulate themselves. And over time, internet companies decided that they shouldn't really be regulating themselves, and they should allow users to post wherever they want, however they want, and with any consequences that might follow. And I think that time is now running out for internet companies, because what the UK government at least is saying, look, you know, you are profiting substantially from so-called unlimited free speech. And what are your responsibilities other than pocketing the profit out of other people's misery? And the government now wants to hold them to account.
Is it flawed as well in the sense that you could have a law in the UK, but then, as you say, well, it's planet internet, isn't it? It's all over the world, and that a law which governs in the UK wouldn't necessarily apply to people posting from overseas, yet it could still affect people in the UK. I don't see how it can work.
Only I don't know, 10 years ago, many people believed that music was dead, in a sense that it was impossible to regulate the distribution of music. Because it was freely available on the internet. There was all those cross-jurisdictional issues. And what the government did is introduce laws in relation to take down notices about music that has been distributed unlawfully, and then the government had other government joining in, such as in the US and the rest of Europe. And now we have very strict laws governing copyright of music. The same happened with child pornography and child exploitation. Up until, again, about 10 years ago, it was considered impossible to regulate that area. And now suddenly it is very heavily regulated. And these two areas, which are completely distinct, copyright and child exploitation, prove to us all that if there is a wish, it is absolutely possible to create cross-jurisdictional regulations of the internet.
Fascinating stuff. Yair Cohen, thank you for joining us. Do appreciate it.